you, Virgos, especially you, because I've seen some of y'all, including myself, you're kind of falling back a bit with some of the toxic traits. Raise your hands if you've been having your guard up lately. You've been having your guard up? I ain't gonna lie, I've been having my guard up too. So I'm gonna tell you this one more time. Hey Carl, how's it going? So I'm gonna tell you one more time. What you do is when you're in a situation where you feel like you're about to have your guard up, when you're talking to someone, all you need to do is simply just breathe in, raise those shoulders, and then breathe out. You're trying to lift the guard up, and you're gonna realize how heavy it is, and then you're gonna breathe out. You need to do that as many times as you can. So I noticed the guard. I noticed that repressed anger, and last but not least, I noticed the whole. You think you slick? Ice game. How you doing? Welcome to my realm. You're thinking that you're slick. You're calling a lot of people stupid, aren't you? I've been doing it on the inside. Man, they ignorant motherfucker. Ooh, if I had $1 for every time they did something stupid, I'd be rich. Now, Virgos, remember what I told you? We are trying to bypass that. We're not trying to be like that anymore. Onyx, welcome to my room. We're trying to be better. Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's been hard because Virgos, we're dealing with a season where a lot of people are testing our patience. They love grinding our patience. And I'm going to tell you the four main things that people will do to grind your patience, and you can't let them win. Number one, they're going to test your character. Oh, he ain't really nice. Oh, he ain't really like that. Oh, I'm going to do this just to see how he acts. People love to test Virgos because of how patient we are. They like to say smarky, remarks of, oh, he, he ain't really like that. Oh, he won't care if you call him that. Phoenix, welcome to my realm. Oh, it don't matter. Virgos, set those boundaries. Like I said, sometimes you gotta speak up and say, "Excuse me, I don't tolerate the way you're talking to me right now." Sometimes you gotta raise the tone up and down. Excuse me, I don't tolerate the way you're talking to me right now. Sometimes you gotta lower, bam, lower than high, low than high, high then low. Excuse me, I don't like the way you're talking to me right now. Raven Mayu, welcome to my realm. That's just how you got to do it. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Virgos, why are you saying all this to me? I already know. What I tell you about that, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Like when I ordered some DoorDash and I specifically asked for some spring water, they gave me 2 packs of purified water. Now, according to research, right, you can still technically drink purified water. It's still good for you, but spring water is the healthier option. I personally like spring water because it's better for you. So you can have purified water. It's just that doctors recommend spring water. Does that make sense? I brought this up with my job once, and they noticed a difference from how the clients were acting. I was like, oh. And Virgos, what did I say? That certain people and signs are going to take credit for the advice that we give them. What did I tell you? And we're going to talk about this. Stop telling all your business to the ones that you know in your heart that are going to take your ideas and not even give you a simple thank you. Stop it. I've been stopping and I've been getting a lot of respect. I'm telling you, just stop. All you got to do is just stop. Flavor Perez, welcome to my realm. All you got to do, Virgos, is just stop. Just stop. Just simply stop. It's hard because you like to help, but just stop. Now you're probably asking yourself, what are you saying all this for? I'll tell you why I'm saying all of this. Just this week, we've lost a lot of people. But the world technically only knows, mostly, Karma, welcome to my realm. Three icons. Three wonderful good people. Not perfect. Not perfect. Ozzy Osbourne, Malcolm, and the immortal Hulk Hogan. By the way, Hulk Hogan just passed away today. Silver Diabs, welcome to my realm. Today he passed away. And what do I see? I see Ozzy Osbourne getting all the praise and love. I see Hulk Hogan getting hit with Rip Bozo, DVSXX Fox, welcome to my realm. I'm seeing Hulk Hogan get hit with Rip Bozo, haha, and, you know, cheers. And there's only one rule that I have with any person that I know. I get that everyone grieves differently and people just need to get some things out their system. But my biggest boundary breaker, right, is when the dead is disrespected. Because once that person is dead, then it's up to the heavens and, of course, the forces down below to make that determination of what their fate is. We don't make that decision. We don't. Zyke, welcome to my realm. We don't make that decision. So I get that some people do not like Hulk Hogan. Pump kind, welcome to my realm. I get that some people don't like one another, but once that person is dead, gang, that's it. Lindy, welcome to my realm. Just leave it at that. That person is dead. You don't say a damn doggone thing. But my condolences, especially to the family, and that's it. You don't you don't go around doing no celebration party that the person's dead or nothing because that's how karma gets you. Virgos, same thing. Because y'all definitely one of the ones to do that first on the inside. Oh, some terrible person passed away. You ready to throw a party? No, don't do it. Because, see, the forces of the dead, I'm telling you, it's scary how it works. The rules, the laws, they're very terrifying. So it's always best, man, when someone passes away, my condolences, honor the good they done, acknowledge the fact that they did terrible things, all right? But don't be one like the others, laugh and talk about ha ha ha, like, thank you so much for the follow, Pumpkin Pie 48. Audie Rat, welcome to my realm. Because I get that there's some folks that do not like Ozzy, that do not like Hulk Hogan, and definitely don't like Malcolm, from the Bill Cosby show. I'm telling you right now, when someone is dead, you leave it alone. Leave it alone. Three, Innost, welcome to my realm. Because the energy that you give is the energy that you're going to get back. It's not going to happen that moment. It's going to happen when it's your turn. When you're the one talking about, oh, can you donate to my GoFundMe? Can you help my mother? Can you help this? And people are going to remember that joke that you made about that one dead person. It doesn't matter if that person was terrible to you. They're going to look and say, man, that was 30, 40 something years ago. Nah, man, I'm going to do the same thing that you did. Because, listen, this is how I look at it. And I get, there are like certain circumstances where people be like, oh, well, no, they were a terrible person. I get it. But here's the thing, though. You gotta understand that these folks, right? They have, their grandparents, their uncles, and they also have people that look up to them and probably don't even know half of the terrible things they did, and they probably are just as shocked as you. Derby, welcome to my room. I'm not saying that you should excuse all the terrible things they done. Absolutely not. It should be acknowledged, but it needs to be acknowledged in a way where it's a teachable moment. Not in a way where it's like, oh, they're a despicable human being. I hope they go to hell. Because, again, that comes back on you. Well, it ain't come back on me. I'm healthy. Dog. I ain't say you, fool. I'm talking about it could come back on your family. Skullmania, welcome to my realm. It could come back on your dog or your cat. It could come back on your teacher. It could come back on someone that you truly care about. Carolyn, welcome to my realm. That's how it works. It could come back on the one person that you truly care about. And that's when you're going to be like, dang. So, to everyone that said what they said about Hulk Hogan after he passed, I get it. You're mad. You're upset. This person probably disrespected you in some way. Skylar and Rue, welcome to my realm. But RJ, welcome to my room. But here's the thing, and Virgos, please pay attention to me when I say this. Every second, every hour, every moment counts. All right. So the moment that you're feeling something, or someone brings it to your attention that you're feeling something, like when they say stuff like, "Man, you're being cold to me," pay attention to that, because Virgos, I know that we can be unforgiving. And that's why I'm glad that I broke out of that. I broke out of that, you know, reaction when I was young, because unforgiveness. I said it before. We talked about this. It does kill. I've read some posts about what was going on, and some of these tweets, they're really heartbreaking. How this man, Hulk Hogan, his real name, Mr. Terry, whatnot, Captain Dodge, welcome to my realm. How he has not, amended broken friendships. How those that, like people that he betrayed are coming back saying, my condolences to the family. Oh, I don't really see him as a friend and whatnot. And that's heartbreaking. Like, you don't ever want to, Jeremy, welcome to my realm. You don't ever want to, leave this world, right? And not have like a chance to amend things. If I said it once, I said, Aurora, welcome to my realm. If I said it once, I'll say it again. I have no ill will towards anyone. I don't care if they block me. I don't care if they ban me. I don't care if they kick me. I don't care if they call me the N word. I don't care. I am the type of person that is going to, you know, nip in the butt and move on, because, I would rather that person still not like me, even after I'd done everything that I could, than to deal with the fact and the guilt of the fact that I didn't at least try to do something to remedy that situation. You know, it's just the fact that someone can hold that much harbor hatred in their heart, you know, until that person is dead, and then be like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe they died, and I wish we could have mended our broken friendship." You had over 20 plus years to do so. Didn't matter if y'all worked in the same. Mike Phelps, welcome to my realm. It didn't matter if y'all worked in the same business or whatnot. It's just the fact that you had the chance to do it. You just didn't want to do it because you were so mad. Like, I don't understand people who get so mad to a point where they wait for someone to die to finally say my condolences. I wish we could have, you know, done things better, when that person was right there alive and there and then. Even that person was mad at you, like, you still, own up and do what you need to do, because once they're gone, they're gone. Like, I don't understand this about people. Axada, welcome to my realm. Like, I see this with streamers and all the time. They make these little videos about each other. They talk about they hate each other. They talk about, oh, I dox you and all that stuff. And then the moment that that person deals with a certain serious situation, or that person is dead, and all of a sudden the script is flipped. Oh, let's pay our respects. No, I'll say it once. I'll say it again. When a person is dead, that's it. That's it. You pay your respects. You move on. You don't try to bring up their past. You don't try to bring up what they did. That's it. It's done. So when I've noticed that someone dies, like, I don't pay attention to like all the bad stuff they did. I'm like, look, it's been forgiven. It's done. Let me just focus on the good. Moment Hulk Hogan passed away, I even I just started looking up some things. Colleen, welcome to my realm. I started looking up some articles and whatnot. Jim Cornette, he made his little funny tweet. It made me chuckle a bit. I was watching one of his old matches from TNA. That's the way to do it. We're not gonna think about, oh, he said the N word, and oh, he said da 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 da. You know, it's just, you. We gotta pay attention and understand different people's timelines that they're in, the time periods that they were born in, and their different life experiences. When we look at all of that, you have to ask yourself, was it really worth to hold all of that in? Wusala do Alien, welcome to my realm. Sorry if I butchered the name. My apologies. You just gotta really think about that. Honestly, really think about that. Is this worth it to hold this to the grave? I know there's songs that talk about, I hate you, I can't wait till you die, yada yada yada, but deep down those people don't really mean that. They're just saying that to put that into a song, and that's that. That's just all for entertainment. No one really means that. And if they do mean it, then they need some serious help. Like, oh my goodness, like, can you imagine me saying that about my own father after all what he did? It's ridiculous. Why am I going to put somebody through that mental torture, that mental hell? You know, it's just, you got to really think about this stuff. Like, is it worth it to hold this much hatred for someone? And you know, it's kind of ironic because I know I've been on here talking about people being blocked and banned, and you're probably thinking, oh, you keep making it about you. No, it's because I hear about it all the time. Robloxian, welcome to my realm. I hear about it all the time. This person did this person did that. I hate him. I want him to. And it's just like, do you really mean that? Do you honestly really mean that? Like, I have people who do silly stuff to me that make me upset all the time, but never in my life would I ever want someone to, die. It's just, there's just certain things you just don't say. You just don't, because that's why they call it a curse. So again, to everyone that's venting or whatnot about Hulk Hogan's death, all I can say is the only thing that the man can say is say sorry and try to make up for it. That's right, Jeremy. That's right. We all make mistakes. We need to learn from it. Exactly. But a lot of people, I get where they're coming from saying, oh, well, I'm tired of hearing that same old lame ass excuse about, oh, we make mistakes. No, just own up to it. Just G, welcome to my realm. And I get that too. I really do. But it's just like, come on, man. Like you really gonna be this angry, this upset with somebody because of something that they did 10 years ago? Like are we dead ass right now? Are we for real? Like it's crazy. Fluffy Fox fan and welcome to my realm. Like we can't keep doing this. Come on, man. We lost three people this week. Three! Three! I think we should really think about what's really important, you know, when it comes to our life. Like, I'm not going to lie. Anytime I hear about someone passing away, there's always three major lessons that always hit me. Make your amends, forgive easily, forgive easily. Take care of yourself, make sure that your health, you're in good health, that you're not eating a lot of junk food. And if you do choose to go to a restaurant, make sure you go to a restaurant that actually knows how to cook food properly, not give you anything processed, and learn how to cook yourself. Stay away from foods with high cholesterol, high trans, and saturated and all those other types of fat. And cherish each moment of your days, and complain less when you can. Because like my day started off great. I would have never imagined waking up to the news that one of my favorite wrestlers, despite all what he's done, and all's forgiven, Mr. Hogan, Mr. Terry, and I forgot his last name, middle name, they would pass away. It's just Gravity Controller 5. Welcome to my realm. And I know this is hard for a lot of people to swallow because y'all upset. I get it. Y'all upset. And you want some type of explanation for death. But here's another lesson that I've learned from this. This is a bonus one. We need to truly um, watch these medical industries, these companies. Josh, welcome to my realm, because and we need to start holding them accountable, like all over the country, like every country, every state, because these medical industries, man, it's just kind of odd how a lot of these people, right, it's certain diseases, right, they say like, oh, we don't have the cure for this, we don't have the cure for that, but they can continue to keep giving people all this medicine, all this medicine, all this medicine, make them codependent on medicine. It's just so much we can learn from death. But the one thing that we can do so we don't ever feel like that this is truly the end, that there's no hope, is that we have to, even if we don't like it, we technically don't care about it, we got to learn more about what's going on in the medical field. I mean, come on, man. Like this is honestly getting ridiculous. It's like, okay, this person passed, this person passed, but it's like three in 1 week. I don't know. I'm telling you, when y'all vote next time, make sure y'all vote for someone that truly cares about the medical industry. Like, not someone that's trying to make y'all codependent on medicine, but someone that really wants to make sure that y'all are in the best health of your lives. You know, please exercise more, work out more. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I mean, look, it's right in front of your face. It's right in front of your face. You know, cardiac arrest, cancer. You know, people having issues with their muscles. People having issues with their heart. They're having issues with breathing. Doctors, talking about, oh, well, this is the main reason as to why this keeps happening. Folks constantly joking and talking about, oh, that can't be me. And as soon as they see someone pass, like, oh, well, thank goodness it ain't me. Instead of just taking the time to pay their respects, I don't get it, man. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me what's wrong with this picture. I've been taking meds all my life, and I'm stuck with my dis. Well, that's understandable. That's understandable. Like I get it. I get that there's exceptions, but to me personally, I always think to just ask questions like, "Hey, what is it that I can do? You know, what is it that I can do? To make myself healthy or whatnot." And I promise you, that doctor is gonna look at anyone that asks that question and say, "You know what? Let's work with you." So it's just, I don't know, man. It's just really concerning. But bottom line is, if someone is dead, please just respect that. Don't disrespect them. And listen, if you're gonna make like parodies and stuff, can y'all at least wait for a month? Because I swear, some of y'all like to make parodies and jokes way too soon. Because we forget to think about Foxy. Welcome to my round. Because we get to think about the one person that's grieving the most. Oh, I missed him because I was a fan. Well, think about the family that's grieving. Think about how the wife, the son, or the daughter, think about how they're feeling right now. They're the ones hurting. They're the ones that are crying. We're the ones just crying for a little bit, and then afterwards it's like, that's that. Here they are. We go back to our lives. That family is going to be grieving probably a little bit longer than the rest of us. I know some people are like, oh, I grieved for, this person's death, with them for over so many years. They're going to be grieving that for the rest of their life. And it's not what you think. It's not like, oh, they grieved for like, a few years and that's it. No, this is something they're going to think about every now and then, like almost every year when they sit at that Thanksgiving table, knowing that they're not going to be there. It's the same with me, like my grandma, my grandpa, my aunts. Like there are times where I accidentally do this, where it's, Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I will look at the phone and I'm thinking, oh, she's gonna call, and I have to remind myself, oh, she's gone. Yeah, stuff like that. Pretty painful. So please keep that in mind. That yes, some people that I understand based on like what society shows and the choices that they make, that yeah, they could be vile human beings and whatnot, but always remember the family, the innocent family at least. At least think about the grandkids, think about the granddaughters, think about them, because the last thing that we need is for these folks to have, revenge angles, right? Talking about, y'all made fun of my dad and I had to suffer with the memes ever since I was 6 years old, and I've been plotting this for over 20 years. Do y'all really want that? Or are y'all gonna reach out to the family? Be honest with them and say, look, I'm gonna be real with you. This person was such and such, but let me tell you some of the good that he's done. Let me tell you some of the good that he or she's done. That's the proper way to do it. I don't care how mad you are at that person. I don't care how frustrated you are at that person. That's how people heal, right? That's how people heal. And I feel like the people that should step forward, right, when it comes to stuff like this, is the ones that are the most angry and like unforgiving towards that person, because those are ones that need to let it out their system, to cry, to talk about, man, I wish we could have made things better. And then afterwards, those are ones that are going to be like, man, I'm sorry I reacted that way. I need to get out my system. Part of me does love that person. And listen, that's why Virgos, I'm the type of person that even when people do me wrong, I will always treat them right. Even that person, like, spits on me. I mean, I won't let them do it to me IRL, but you get what I'm saying. It's a metaphor, right?
it's like a a visual example, but it's something that I would not actually let happen to me. It's a saying, as they because you don't know what that person is going through. And Starling, welcome to my realm. And all in all, you don't know when that could have been that person's last words to you. It's it's insane, man. This is why I look at people that treat other people like garbage. And the one thing that I say is, forgive them, Heavenly Father, for they not know what they do. Any person that dogs me, and I've done everything that I could to try to remedy and make the situation better, that's what I say under my breath. Because that person's already going through it. Why in the world am I going to make their life harder? Because, oh, they did something terrible to me. You know, I was watching a video, right, from a Buddhist monk, and he literally stated why forgiveness is so important. And one of the main reasons he's saying is when you pretty much let all that negative energy out, understand that you're doing it so you can move forward. Let me go even deeper. How in the world can you still live if you let this one thing or others keep you stuck mentally? And I mean like stuck as in that's all you can think about. Even when you're still moving, you're still talking about it. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. So to all the people that are like upset with Hulk Hogan or Ozzy or whatnot, just think about it like that. Think about it that they're human. They're not these superpowered gods. You know, they do have weakness, and they did the best they could. And just remember the good they've done, and that's that. Sometimes we get so mad at people, we become so forgiving of people that we forget the good that they've done. We forget that. The first thing that came to my mind when I heard that Hulk Hogan died and Ozzy died and whatnot was, let me look at the good stuff they done. Oh, they donate to charity. Oh wow, they helped out with kids. They were a role model. That's the stuff I look for, you know? And all the other stuff, I just let it go. I remember when I heard about what he said, oh, he called people to. I'm like, that has nothing to do with me. That's none of my business. None of my business. You know? Was it wrong? Yes, but it's none of my business. And that's the one thing, Virgos, you're going to learn to say to yourself. None of my business. I can't, but here's what I can do. Or, sorry, I can't. This is going to be tough for a lot of people, right? But every time someone that's notable passes away, this is a chance to be closer, not more divided. That's a chance, that's a sign. Remedy what you can go ahead and remedy now. That way, it's not like you're repeating. You know what I mean? Because we will be back here talking about this subject again in a way. So just see what you've learned from it, and then go from there. Because we're it's gonna happen again and again and again and again. And some people are gonna get it, and some people are gonna be like, oh, whatever. But just remember karma. Just remember how it works, and most importantly, um, I understand everyone works and learns at their own pace, but hear me when I say this. I understand that I can be quite annoying, quite irritating to some people. Talk way too fast. I get it, and I work on it. But I reach out to anyone that wants to hear what I have to say so they can share it with others, so they can, advance. because just like those two legendary icons who passed away, so those three legendary icons who passed away, notice how all that money, all that fame cannot go with them. It stays right there. And all the hard work was definitely for naught because they left a legacy and they passed the baton to anyone and everyone that's willing to hear them out. That's willing to, to relive their experiences through the memoirs, of what they left here on earth. So it's tough. It really is tough to, try to put together like what to do in this situation. But I think the first thing to do is to look for the good in that person, right? When OJ Simpson passed away, right? I thought about the good that man did. Acknowledge the terrible things he did, but I was looking for the good. Okay, what good things did that man do? What good things did he, contribute to society? Because I don't like thinking about the terrible things that person done. Because I look at it as it was in that moment. And terrible moments don't last forever. They may have a lasting impact, but the good moments have an even bigger impact, in my opinion, because good moments show growth and they show, you know, the fact that a character has been built upon thanks to those bad moments that happen. So that's why when it comes to honoring the dead, it's always the good moments because anybody can just nitpick and mentally destroy someone because of their bad habits. I mean, heck, Virgos, we do that all the time, but I'm trying to get out of that because who wants to live like that? Constantly, nitpick themselves to death, about all the terrible things done. And, and this is just a prime example of why you should live and enjoy your life how you want it. Why also, of course, honoring certain principles and moralities. And to those who join, welcome to my realm. It's just really think about that, okay? I want you to think about that. It's very imperative that you do. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who is hearing me, but I'm going to have to leave the rest to y'all when it comes to this. But I will forever be disappointed and frustrated with anybody who just thinks it's funny to disrespect the dead. I don't care who you are because once they're gone, they're gone. That's it. It's like when I look at people that do that, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how heartless can you be? Well, they were heartless towards me. I get that, but like, come on. They're an uncle. They're a grandpa to somebody. Well, they ain't got no heart. They deserve to rot. I'm like, okay, but I hear you. You're right, but it's like, geez, would this is what I want to say to a person that's so bitter and angry towards someone. Would you say that to their grandkid who's innocent, who's just learning how to deal with the world? Would you say that to the wife or or someone in the family that had nothing to do with this, had no idea? Like for example, if someone came to me and told me, "Did you know that your brothers did this?" I would look at them and say, I didn't know that, because I have a life. I'm my own business. I didn't know that he or she was doing that stuff. I would be devastated. I'll be hurt, but I'm not going to disown them because that's my family. You know, like when I learned that, so and so did something. I'm not like I'm not the type of cold person that's going to disown somebody like that. You know, I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to make sure that they get it right. But I get it. There's situations where it's like, well, you can't really do anything about it. But it's just like sometimes you gotta just not think about yourself and how things make you feel when it comes to this important subject matter at hand, which is dealing with life and death. Because death, man, it's it's something that is of the unknown. Because once that's it, that's it. But you just don't ever want to put yourself into that perpetual loop of revenge where you're so angry, you're so bitter to the point where when that person that you
couldn't stand finally dies, and that's the only thing that you could say. That's the only thing that you could say to that person's grandkid. Like, think about it like this, because when you do that, that grandkid, when they're your age and you're the older one that's close near to death, they're gonna do the same thing to you, and it's gonna hurt badly. So I'm telling you, I'm begging y'all, just you are allowed to be angry. You are, especially if that person was terrible to you, but you just really got to ask yourself, am I going to be willing to, say something back when that person's grandkid, their son, their daughter, who's innocent, right, who don't know any better, they're only 5 and 4, and they come back at me once they're 25, 24, and I'm the one that's 80 or 60 or 70 in a hospital bed, or at least walking with a cane, or at least walking, but they're going to say something to me that's going to be hurtful. And the only thing that's going to bring me back to is what I said 20, 30 years ago. There have been things that, you know, I'm not going to lie, family members have said to me, about, you know, it could have been my mother in a joking way, my father in a joking way. And I could have been petty and said, oh, no, I'm going to get back at it. I'm going to say the same thing. No, I let it go. About, oh, they always compare me to my father. No, I let it go. I forgive them. I laugh with them. Like my aunt made a little joke about my mother, and it was a harmless joke, and I laughed. I ain't get mad about it. I ain't hold it in. I just laughed. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's true, but that's my mother, and I love her. It's just people, like, you gotta understand something. You can be mad at people. You can even have moments where you don't like that person. You got moments where you're so unforgiving. That's fine, but man, man, oh man, like, hear me when I say this. Think before you hit that block button. Think before you hit that ban button. Think before you destroy a friendship. Think before you destroy a relationship, man. Just think about it first. Just really think about it. Like with me, if I'm someone who, if you know me and I cut you off of certain social media platforms, 9 times out of 10, it's rare, and I only do it towards certain people who just didn't pay attention to my warnings. But I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna have some type of line of contact with me. Some, you know, at least one, and that just means, hey, I'm giving you a chance to get it right. Now I know there's some people who are just so cold that they'll just block you everywhere because of a disagreement or miscommunication, and it's like no matter how many people die or how many folks, or how many tears we shed, it's just the same old, same old. And Virgos, y'all can break that cycle. Oh, you thought I was gonna talk about everyone? No, no, they ain't listening. I'm talking to the Virgos. Virgos, I know you can break that cycle. All you have to do is just simply lower that guard and just ask yourself, is this worth my time to be so unforgiving? Now, to those who are listening that are not Virgos, I am giving y'all this advice. You could take it or leave it. You probably listen to me like I'm freaking crazy, and that's okay. I'm speaking from experience to the point where it's just like, man, how many times are we gonna keep dealing with this? Oh, rest in peace, R.I.P. Blah blah blah, da, 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 da. And then here we go again, square one. Either next week or the next month, and we back to doing the same thing to one another. Really think about that for a second. I really just want you to just think about that for a second. Just think about it. All right. Oh, and one more thing, because we're all guilty of this. 9 times out of 10, and this is, and you're right. A lot of people who've made revenge songs towards one another regretted it as they got older. And you want to know why? A, that person either changed, or B, their kid, their daughter, their grandkid, or a family member that they trusted heard it, has some words to say to that person, and it made them think. Vengeance is a bitter pill. Vengeance is worse, but I think you get my point. So the next time you hear about someone passing away,
right? Just think about that for a second before you type and tweet and whatnot. The next time you want to ban, block, and kick somebody, think about that. Think about that one person that passed away. Think about it. Think about how many times you have probably repeated a mistake that they made. And there's someone from the dead probably telling you, don't do what I did. Talk with them. Do something different. When a person gets mad at me, man, I let them stay mad at me. I I don't say anything that I'm gonna regret. I mean, technically speaking, you can, but do it to yourself. But even then, you're gonna be like, why did I waste it 5, 10 minutes getting so mad at somebody that ain't even thinking about me anymore? That people wonder, how come you don't date? Well, that's why. That's why, man. Because some people don't get that concept. They don't understand that things happen, and you have to learn to work through it instead of closing doors, closing this, closing that. I mean, if you want to close those doors, that's fine. It's just how I'm talking is just all based on my experience, okay? So, like, Virgos, man, like, come on. I know y'all could do better than this. Like, for example, I got in contact with, thank you, I appreciate that. I got in contact with someone, and the Virgo me was like, man, I must have really messed up when I was talking to them. They must be mad at me and everything. Something told me, get back with them. Try again. I contacted them. They didn't respond. I tried it again. The couple didn't respond. I tried again. And, after 5 days, I tried again. I kept trying. And then finally, I got a hold of them. They told me, hey, they was like, hey, we're sorry we didn't get in contact with you. We just been so busy. We haven't forgot about you. Um, you know, just continue to keep in touch with us. Now imagine if I got so frustrated, say, you know what, they don't care about me, they using me. You know, Virgos, this is why I said you can't have those type of attitudes. You got to be patient with people. Some people, they move slow as a slug, and you just gotta let them move slow as a slug. You gotta be one that's patient, because it's like you gotta understand something. The words that a person say to you don't really impact you until they're dead. They say, "Oh, you don't really truly understand a person until they're dead." That's just because we're just stupid as people. It's just naturally stupid because we're still learning. We're still trying to figure them out. Just like we're trying to figure ourselves out. Doesn't mean that we're dumb. It just means we just have moments where we just don't fully understand. So that's all I'm saying. It's bigger than just spread love. It's bigger than just forgive and that's it. It's just you got to think about it like this: what you put out to the universe truly does come around. So if you're mean and cruel to people, please don't be surprised if it happens to you. I look at all these folks that are part of these little gangs and whatnot, man, and then they wonder why bad mojo keeps coming back to them. Man, look at all the people you kill. Look at all the people that you murking, and then you ask yourself like, man, what bad stuff happened to me? I don't know, man. Shoot, you got me. I don't know what bad stuff happened to you. I mean, look what you're doing. You cannot tell me that you think that you doing good. Like all these folks that make all these little exposure videos, man, and then they wonder why they can't smile. Like oh they smile because they got money, but then they wonder why they can't smile. They can't even look at someone. They can't even have a nice conversation. Their tone is all down and depressed. Oh man, I'm a Sigma Chat. I got all this money stuff. And they can't even have they can't even have a decent conversation. It's something positive. They always uptight. They always frustrated with themselves. It's just and I say all this say this. People carry and harbor all that hatred, right? And they carry it to their grave. To their grave. I don't think y'all hearing me. So I'm gonna stop talking just blah 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 blah. And I'm actually going to find an article and read it to y'all personally, right? What people and how they reacted to the immortal Hulk Hogan's death. I would say Ozzy Osbourne whatnot, but ain't nobody got no issues apparently with Ozzy Osbourne. Not a lot of people. Like they're fine. You know, they're fine with him and you know and whatnot. They you know they made their peace and whatnot. Let me see if I can find that article real quick. This is from Break the Stereotype. Appreciate you. Kiro, Angels, R Studio, Foxy, twice. Break the Stereotype, Cheesecracker, Cole, Yamori, and Sean. Appreciate you. So let me go ahead and just read this real quick. And y'all tell me what y'all learned from this. You tell me. All right. This is from Hulk Hogan's friends himself. So this is from Tony Schiavone. He says, longtime friend? No. Co-worker? Yes. Wow. Now, I understand that Tony Schiavone and Hulk Hogan, they had issues for years. So I get it, but it's just wow. And of course, this is just a typical corporate response. WWE is saddened to learn WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan has passed away. One of pop culture's most recognizable figures, Hogan helped WWE achieve global recognition in the 1980s. WWE extends its condolences to Hogan's family, friends, and fans. I sometimes wish WWE would just stop with this whole strict corporate structure when it comes to someone dying. Just be human. Just say, you know, we here at the WWE Universe and just everyone here is just deeply saddened by the passing of someone that we truly call a friend. You know, just make it more personal. You know, you don't have to always be so uptight. Like we are saddened to hear about. It just sounds robotic to me. Like I don't know. To me, it just sounds robotic. But you know, WWE doing the best they can. Ric Flair, of course, he's heard about this. I'm absolutely shocked to hear about the passing of my close friend. Hulk has been by my side since we started in the wrestling business. An incredible athlete, talent, friend, and father. Our friendship has meant the world to me. He was always there for me, even when, folks, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all better send y'all love and hearts and hugs to Hulk Hogan's friend Ric Flair, because that man's in his 70s too. I'm telling you, that man's in his 70s too. Kira, welcome back to my realm. Through the good times and the bad, I've always loved my brother Terry. I'm devastated by the loss of my friend. I only wish we had time to mend our broken friendship before his passing. Until I see you, brother, in the big square circle in the sky, I love you. That is from Brutus Beefcake, which I'm not going to lie, I'm surprised he's still alive. NWA Wrestling Promotion states the National Wrestling Alliance mourns the passing of Terry Boella, known professionally in the world ever as Hulk Hogan. On this sad occasion, we extend our deepest sympathies to Hulk's family, friends, and millions of fans. Now, this is a corporation, and even they were able to give out a better, more, personal response to someone's passing. WWE is just more too strict and to the letter. It's hard to put into words that Terry Hulk Hogan Boella meant to professional wrestling entertainment. He may be gone, but his memory and legacy will live forever. Rip Holster, Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm saddened to learn of the passing of pro wrestling icon Hulk Hogan. Hogan's name was synonymous with professional wrestling, transcending the industry to become an American pop culture fixture. My condolences go out to his fans, friends, and family. Rest in peace. Charlotte Flair stated, when I nearly lost my dad 8 years ago, one of the few people who was there for all of it was Hulk Hogan. My heart breaks for Nick and Brooke. Rest in peace, brother. My relationship with Hulk Hogan is complicated because I was a big Hulkamaniac as a kid, and I mourned that relationship a decade ago. Still, his legacy in pro wrestling is undeniable. He shaped an era and he took the business to unmatchable heights. It sounded like they had a template saved as a Word document and just copy and paste the name. Exactly. But that's just WWE for you. That's just how they are. It's sad. Deeply saddened to hear the passing of my friend and wrestling legend Hulk Hogan. Terry Gene Boella, known to millions as Hulk Hogan, was more than an icon in the ring. He was a man with a big heart and a genuine desire to help others. He was a proud supporter of my school. Mark Miro. Thank you for everything you did for our business. I pray that you handle your demons before you walk to the afterlife. Rest in peace. Bad news and tattoos. If you're a wrestling fan over 30, Hulk Hogan shaped your childhood. 2 times he led wrestling pop culture phenomenons. Two and made wrestling cool. WWF 80s explosion. NWO 90s explosion. He was an American icon. Sadly, he tarnished his own legacy, and his transgressions will be remembered equally. Brett Lauderdale. So I think you all get my point, but let me find a one um, that was just interesting. This is from Danny DiMonto. He says, it finally came crashing down, but I don't think it hurts inside anymore. Oh, Checky Baby is waiting on him to finally break his fucking back. Anti-rip. So that's obviously someone that's really upset with Hulk Hogan. And that's just heartbreaking. To me, when someone writes stuff like this, it's just eh. And of course, a Japanese wrestler, I think, by the name of Hyen says, or someone for Japan says, I sense a great Twitter day. So I guess just stating that, oh, some people are going to celebrate, some people are just going to probably, mourn together. We have no clue. Bottom line is, as much as I love Hulk Hogan, I would not want to be that man. That is somebody that I would not want to be. The amount of pressure that man had to go through, to be this big star, to be this big example. And me personally, I just think it just caused him to snap over time. There was another interview, I think it was from TMZ, where it stated that Hulk Hogan, right, has underwent so many surgeries that there wasn't a lot of humanity in him left. Like that's just scary, man. Like to undergo all of that, and I think Ozzy went through something as well, where he went through surgery, and to the point where he lost. He dealt with Parkinson's disease, and that's pretty serious, where it causes you to lose mobility in your legs. So Virgos, I hopefully, and just everyone in general, I hope you all understand why it's so important to just not hold on to grudges, because man, I tell you, listen. It's okay to be mad at people. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to say what you got to say, but make sure that you're still careful with your words, how you say it, what you're gonna say. Oh, who's this? Dancing James One, welcome to my room, because I can't I can't stress this enough. You're the one who's got to look back at everything that you did when it's your turn. That's the scariest thing to me when I think about that. I remember when a pastor said to me, like, man, be careful what you do, because you're the one who's going to look back at that. And if you got a family member that's willing to punish you or discipline you, that's a parent that loves and care about you. Mamazos, be wolf, welcome to my realm. Just hearing that, man, it's still very haunting. If you have someone in your life that's willing to tell you that you did wrong, that's willing to look you in your face and discipline you, man, that's a person that cares about you. A person that just looks at you, to gives you the thumbs up and let you fall and stumble and break your face. It just depends. It could be a person who tried to tell you, just didn't listen, or that's just truly just someone who's just like, I don't care, man. Do what you want. Moreno, good to see you. Welcome to my realm. So, man, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Death. Everyone has their interpretation of death. Oh, it doesn't scare me. Oh, I don't care. Blah blah blah. It's whatever. You know, it doesn't bother me. You know, everybody says that, man. Listen, I said that when I was 19. I said that, stupid shit. I was like, oh, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't scare me. Whatever, man. If that's what you think, that's perfectly fine. Me personally, I do understand, you know, Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Um, I tell you, you know, you just gotta be careful with what you say. You gotta be careful with how you say it. You know, don't matter how mad you are, frustrated. Because man, like I said, I do not want to be. I would not want to be Hulk Hogan, man. Can you imagine being someone as big as Hulk Hogan and you deal with all these adoring fans that love you? They're singing your theme song, and then all of a sudden, you know, you make one mistake and people just destroy your legacy and just, oh boy, I tell you, just heartbreaking, man. Just it's heartbreaking. I admire these three icons that passed, but man, I would not want to be them. The, the things they went through, the struggles they went through, I personally feel like their body just couldn't take it no more, you know? And mentally, they probably couldn't take it no more. Just shows you how cruel the world can be, man. That's why when I see my friends talk about this big streamer and whatnot, I'm like, hey, good for them. I wouldn't want to be that. That's a lot of pressure, man. Who knows what they deal with on a daily? You know, they try to put out an animation. They try to put on this. They get like 600 plus friend requests, 60, you know, like probably 6,000 plus messages. It's just, you know, who knows? They could be dealing with some death-defying illness. You know, because I know like Iron Mouse, she deals with something that's pretty, you know, scary. You know, medically. Ozzy was one of the few good ones. Yeah, he was. He was definitely one of the few good ones, and he will never be forgotten. It's just, I think what we can learn from all their deaths is just make better choices. You know, and what I mean by that is with our words. We really should go back to, um, you know, the voice actor of what Thumper said, because I think a lot of us we forget to do that all the time, especially when we're upset. Yeah, we could make some videos. But yeah, like Thumper said it best. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. I want the voice actor of Thumper, because I know they're still alive, to literally just get on TikTok, get on whatever platform they choose, and just do that same thing. Just literally say it, but just go in on people. I don't care if they get mad or what, but just be like, if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Best line I've ever heard from any animated film. There has not been an anime film that has come as close as just something as simple as that. And it's the way how Thumper did it that's just so adorable. But it's true. Sometimes the best thing to say, especially like if someone comes to you saying, "Do you have any comment that you have to say about a person, you know, that passed away?" It don't matter if you don't like them, whatnot. Sometimes the best thing to say is, "My condolences to the family, and rest in peace." Better to say that than to, you know, say something that you're going to regret many years later. Just what a shame, man. What a shame. I if I was going to stream today, man, see you later, Moreno. Like it's just, man, I just don't know. Let us just learn from this, and hopefully, I don't have to hear any more about someone else passing away that I grew up with. But it's just facts. Welcome to my realm, and you just came towards the end of my stream. So we just need to make this be a big lesson that people are people. When you see someone, whether they're bigger than you or not, treat them as such, um, and understand that don't ever look at a person's situation and act as if that can't be you. I would not wish my situation, right, on anybody, right? If I see someone's doing good, I don't care if that person hates my guts. I'm going to be like, man, I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you, you know, because I would want that to come back to me when I'm 70, 80 years old. Just straight up. This is your naturally born hated Virgo speaking, and rest in peace, Malcolm. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, King of Metal. And rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Immortals never die.